Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here with Crafty Mama. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. What we are going to do today is we're going to continue with our Photoshop 101 series. And today we are going to talk about adding in photos, removing backgrounds, adding in and using brushes, and fading photos. So if you want to learn how to do that in Photoshop, go ahead and stick around. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm just going to jump right on into it. I'm going to exit out of this. Okay, so this is just a quick little photo I created so that I can be able to show you everything I just talked about. Okay, so we have a photo, the background is a photo, she's a photo. This smoke is a brush. We faded her out, and then we use the tools that I showed you in the first video with the drop shadow and the bevel and the stroke. We use that on the text here. So I'm just going to go ahead and recreate this photo so that you can see exactly how to do it. So we're going to go to create new here. We're going to do 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels. We're going to make sure our resolution is on 300, and we're going to go with a black background, and we're going to click create. That's going to give us a blank canvas here. Okay, now to add in your photos, I went to Etsy and I purchased some background photos, which are on my desktop here. So these are the ones, it's just some silver and gold confetti backgrounds that I downloaded or purchased from Etsy, I think for all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. It was probably like $2.50 or something like that. Oh, here's another one right here. So 8 of them. I think it was like $2.50 for all of them. And this is the one I used. So you're just going to open up your file, you're going to click, and you're going to drag. Okay, and then you're going to get this box. You can get rid of this box one of two ways. You can click this check, or you can double click twice. Okay, now I just need to reposition this. So we're going to hit Control T. If you're on a Mac, it's Command T. And we're just going to reposition it to the top so it looks like the confetti is coming down, and we're going to click the check. Okay, so now we have our background. That's it. That's all. You can use whatever background you want. There is tons and tons and tons of digital backgrounds that you can find on Etsy, and I mean there's a dozen other websites that you can find them from as well. You can Google like digital backgrounds and it'll show you a bunch of different websites you can purchase them from. I would suggest if you're creating something that's going to be like on a t-shirt or an invitation, you want to use the best resolution possible. So typically with purchased backgrounds or purchased digital paper, that's going to give you the best resolution. But if you find one on Google and you just want to, click and save, you can do that too. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in our girl. Go back to the same thing, our files. And I believe she was on my desktop, but I don't remember what I named her. So here she is right here, New Year. If you have it from your desktop, you can just minimize this and move it to the side. Click on your photo and drag and drop. Same way. And then open this back up. Okay, so see how she has a background around her? We want to go ahead and get rid of that. So you are going to click your eraser tool, which is right here. It looks like them little pink erasers that you can buy at the dollar store. You are going to right click on that and you are going to select background eraser tool. Then you're going to come over to your photo. You're going to get this this black circle with a line through it. Click on the picture and it's going to tell you that the smart object must be rasticized before proceeding. And you're just going to click OK. Now you're going to get this little T, or you have this little T here, and you're going to click on your background, and it's going to go ahead and remove it for you. But now we have these little pieces here, so just click on it, and it's going to remove it. Click on it, and it's going to remove it. So now you just have her, and your background is gone. Okay, so now what I want to do, highlight the girl, so you're going to hit Control T, and I want to make her smaller, and I want to stick her right here. But the problem is, now you see how there's like these sharp edges here? I want to fade that out so that it looks, you know, more flowy with the picture rather than it being like a sharp edge. So that's what we're gonna do, the fading. So what you want to do, you have to add a new layer in order to fade. So you're gonna go, I'm sorry, you have to add a what is this called? It's a layer mask. You have to add a layer mask, which is this button down here at the bottom next to, next to FX, this right here. It's called a layer mask. You want to add a layer mask, click that, and it's going to give you this white box next to your picture. We're going to be working inside this white box. Then you want to come over here to your gradient tool. Yours might be, if you don't see your gradient tool, click on your paint bucket tool. Like if you have a paint bucket here, click on the paint bucket and then select your gradient tool. It'll be in the same spot. Okay, then you're gonna go up here to the top where this bar is. You're gonna click your drag, your little drop down menu, and you're gonna go under basics. And you want to make sure you select this one here. It might be your first, your second, your third, whichever one, but the black to transparent, that's the one you want to select, and make sure it's, you know, that this is what your bar looks like, black to transparent or white. Okay, and then you want to make sure your top color here is black. If it's white, just click on it and select black, and then select OK. Okay, everybody with me? Hopefully you said yes. Now, what you're gonna do now, you're gonna have another T, and you're just going to click underneath and drag up, and it's going to start to fade her out. So you just wanna do it until, you know, it looks how you want it to look. Okay. So I think that looks decent enough here. So instead of having those sharp edges, we just kind of faded her out, and I think that looks good. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add in my text. I'm gonna use Clara Sands, which was an a font that I purchased from creativemarket.com and then uploaded it. If you use Cricut Design Space or Silhouette, the exact same way that you would download fonts onto Cricut Design Space or Silhouette Studio is the exact same way you get the fonts onto Photoshop. You're going to close out Photoshop. You're going to go download your font onto your computer. You're going to extract all, then you're going to install for all users, and then when you open Photoshop, it should be there. Exact same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my text here. Happy. Let's change this color so we can see it. Let's turn it to white. I'm going to change the color to gold, but I just want to be able to see it. and make it smaller so I can see it. Okay, and then I'm going to finish typing enter NEW, new, enter, year. And I just want to like off center this a little bit, and I'm going to do that by just hitting the space bar. That's all I'm doing. And then we're just going to resize it a little bit. Okay, I think that looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and add our effects. The gradient, the gold gradient, I'll show you how to do the, I didn't mention the gold gradient, but I'll go ahead and I'll show you how to do the gold gradient. You are going to select your text layer, which is here, right click it, go up to blending options. And the first thing you want to do is click on your gradient overlay. Now mine is already set, but I'm going to show you the settings. So once you click on gradient overlay, if you haven't already set your gold gradient yet, you're probably going to get either something that Photoshop put in, or you're going to have a solid color. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your drop down. I'm sorry, not the drop down. You're going to click the bar, the actual bar. Now, how you do the gold gradient is you basically have to play with the colors. Okay, so here's a color stop, this white box. Here's a color stop, here's a color stop, here's a color stop, here's a color stop. The first color stop you want to do should be in location 0. Okay, and the color, this is the color that I always use. If you want to write this down or screenshot it, 927331. That's the first color that you are going to need. I'm actually going to write this down myself because I don't have it written down anywhere. 927331. Location 0. Okay, that's the color you want to put in here. Click OK. Location 0. The next one you want to do is do this middle one. The location is going to be 50. And the location, the color code FFF29C. Location is 50, which is right in the middle. Then you want to do your last one, location 100, and your color is going to be the same as the first color, 927331. Select OK. Then you want to go in and do these two middle. This one is going to be location 20. And the color is A7821E, location 20. A7821E, location 20. And the final color is going to be at location 80. Same color as the other one. A7821E, location 80. Okay, so your bar should look like this. It's going to be custom. You can change the name to gold if you want to. The gradient type is solid and the smoothness is 100%. And we're going to go ahead and click OK. My angle, my style is reflected, and the angle is 15 degrees. And this little preview box is going to show you how it's going to look inside of your text. Okay, so now we have our gradient overlay, our gold gradient overlay. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. You could probably create a clip and mask and upload like a gold background if you wanted to do it that way. Kind of like the way, if you use PicsArt, you can do it the same way in PicsArt as you would in PicsArt. You would just like upload a pattern. I believe in Photoshop it's called a clipping mask. You can do it that way. I've never tried to do it that way. I just do it this way because at this point I know the color codes. I mean, once you put it in, unless you're going to change your gradient color, it's going to stay there. So anytime I click gradient overlay, it automatically goes gold. If I wanted to change it to silver, I could, which would be the only two gradients I ever used, or rose gold, which so you can figure out the colors, write them down, and then those just be the three gradients that you use. Those are the three most common. Okay, so now we have our words here. Now we're going to add in that smoke that we saw on this first picture here. So the way you would do that is you have to install the brush. Let's go to, this is the website. These are free Photoshop brushes. They don't have all of the brushes that you could possibly use, but they have a lot of popular ones. It's called Brush Easy, brusheasy.com. And what is the one that I use? Let's type in smoke. Okay, so here's a bunch of different smoke brushes that you can choose from to download. I think I did the Real Smoke. Let me look at my file and see which one I did. I did Real Smoke. I think I just, let me see. I think I did this one. Real Smoke Photoshop brushes. They got 2, 4, 9. I did this first one that doesn't have a number. You hit, I've already downloaded it, so I don't want to do it again, but you would click free download. It's going to come down here, like right here on my computer. It's still there. You would click it, exit out of Photoshop. So if you're doing this with me, go ahead and save this on your cloud, and then exit out of Photoshop completely, download your brush, extract the file, and then when you get, it's not going to let you install, but it should just automatically save for you, and then open Photoshop back up. And then once you do all of that, we're going to go up here to your brush tool. You're going to go up here and hit the drop down menu. Let me close this out. When you hit your drop down menu, you're probably going to see your general brushes. You can close that, but you see all these little drop downs. Your free smoke brush should be right here at the bottom. So we're just going to hit the drop down. I'm going to use the first brush. You're going to get a couple of different brushes. Just play around with them and see which ones you like, which one's your favorite. They're all a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead with this first one. Now, when you, it's going to tell you it has to be rasicized. Just select OK. Once you do that, now you see how big this brush is. This is way too big. So we're going to size it. I think I had it like around 1800. So like this, I think. Let me see. And then you're going to click. Oh, it came up gold. I like that better than the white that I had. Okay, and then you're going to click again. Now, the smoke is around her face and all of that. I kind of want the smoke to be behind her. So actually what I should have done was created a new layer. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to select a new layer. I'm sorry, I'm going to add a new layer. So right here, this little box with the plus in it, you're going to click that and it's going to give you a new layer. And we're going to put the smoke on that layer, which is why that's how it's going to come up white. It came up gold because we had the gradient gold gradient selected for the letters. So if you still want to go with the gold gradient, you would just on that layer, go up to blending options, gradient overlay, boom, it's going to turn your smoke gold. And I think that looks really cool. I like that. Okay, so now the smoke is on top of her and on top of the letters, and I want it to be behind her. So you're going to take your layer and you're going to drag it down. You're going to drag it until you see those two blue lines. If you don't see the blue lines, that means it's not dragging. Okay, so now you see our letters are on top of the smoke, and we got to drag it down one more layer. There. Now she is on top of the smoke, or now it looks like she's in the smoke. Okay. So now that we have this, our letters are kind of blending in with the smoke. So we want to go ahead and add our text effects to the letters so that they stand out over the smoke. So we're going to hit our text button. We are going to select our Happy New Year layer, right click, blending options, and add your drop shadow. Now the drop shadow is a little too big, so we have to resize it. Bring it down some. Think that's good. And I'll probably add a stroke too. Bring the stroke down just to make it pop. Play with your settings. Do however you want to do it. Okay, so now our letters pop on top of the smoke and they're not getting lost within it. And then the last thing, I think I had those letters up here. Cheers to 2021. I just want to offset this a little bit. I'm going to do that by pressing the space bar twice. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and reposition. And then right click, blending options. We're going to add our gradient, our stroke, and our drop shadow. Okay, you can add the bevel if you want. Okay, and that's it. So I have showed you, we went over the text effects again. We added in pictures. We added in and installed brushes. We changed the color of the brushes. We faded. We did a lot today. But yeah, that is it for this tutorial, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything specific you would like me to go over, definitely let me know, and I will try to get that out for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.